You have selected Shuffle.
Welcome to the Shufflepod. I'm Woody. Let's try this again.
Talent, George.
Welcome to the Shufflepod. I'm Woody.
Hey, I'm George.
Hey, I'm DJ. Where's Geoff?
I know this is 3 shows in a row. I'm starting to wonder.
We're still getting our Patreon flow, so
he's still editing. Well, yeah, so you think.
True.
I've had it diverted just straight into my account.
How about you grifting son of a bitch? What other stuff did you steal from us?
I have not touched the account, not for a while.
Yep. You know how I can tell when you're full of shit?
Why is that?
Your mouth is moving.
Oh yeah.
Ah!
No, I honestly, Doge is way down. It's down to about where I bought it for the with Shufflepod money. So I'm just not good at finances, I guess.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
It's no big deal. You guys had a fucking trial about it.
Well, that is true. That is true.
I mean, it's no big deal now, I should say.
My house got egged last night.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I was in my house.
Who would waste eggs in this climate?
That's what you know what it is? Democrats. Because they don't give a fuck about anything.
It was probably Biden. It was
Biden. He goes, "You should have voted for me, you son of a bitch."
No.
He sounded like Mayor Quimby.
It was probably Obama.
He goes, "Hey, it's going to be great." Yep, there it is.
That's not bad.
The dogs didn't notice it, or?
No, they did. What happened was I went to bed because I just got back from vacation from my fishing trip, and where I caught 5 fish the entire week.
Oh,
5.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's not
congratulations,
good.
and I'm sorry.
That was horrendous.
Yeah, that's not good.
But it was a good time. But anyway, so I went to bed early because I was tired, and 11:30, Jamie woke me up. Goes, "Hi, hun." And I always know when she does something bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of staring
Please
at the
don't
doorway.
hit me.
She goes, "Hey, now don't get all angry, but somebody just egged the house." I'm like, "You got it? What?" So anyways, I go outside, and there's egg on the door, and there's an egg on the window. And I can tell that I'm now 44 years old and not 24 because I didn't go looking for them. So,
yeah,
because I figured,
how soon
we'll just wash it up. Huh?
How soon? Like within 2 minutes? Or?
Minutes. Yeah, the egg was still extremely wet.
So you just licked it right off?
I did. Yeah. I sucked it off with a straw.
Protein. I get it.
And that could be the episode name. Sucked it off with a straw. Yeah. So it's just a couple eggs, and
just hose it
I
off.
saw at the end of the street, I saw these kids walking, and I was like, there they are, the little fuckers. So I shined my light on them, and they took off, and I was like, there's no way I'm chasing these kids. They're spry, And I went to bed. So it was kind of uneventful.
Oh,
you may hear in the background my dog fighting ring that I have set up.
I'm just stunned. So what time of night was this?
11:30.
And you didn't go out there and slap one of them?
Yeah, right. That's what you Jay's go-to.
I didn't even get mad. I was just like, well, I can't say that I haven't done that.
Did you hose it off last night?
Yeah, we took care of it.
That was going to be my question.
Not we.
You went back to bed.
I did. I said, wake me up when it's gone. No, don't, because I'll beat the shit out of you. So, no, it was. It only took a little bit of time to clean her up, and we're good to go.
So they would have had to have known you just got back. They didn't do this while you were gone.
Yeah, I think they were watching them.
I think it was a targeted attack. Who all knew you were coming back yesterday?
A target attack. I like that.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
Dead
who's the
silent
only
now.
one of us that doesn't have an alibi? I was home with Tasha and Gibson. Woody?
I was home with Tasha and Gibson.
Well,
Dun,
I-
dun, dun.
what I'm trying to say here is the only one of us in the show in the
Oh!
group message isn't here to
Oh.
defend himself, is it? Could he be on the run?
He's on the lam.
He's on the lam.
I did hear
Son of
a
a
very
bitch.
tinny cackle as they ran away.
Oh, hey, he's not here to defend himself, so I say we have another trial. When he's apprehended, we have another trial.
I just say we have a trial now.
He could
And
be
then-
on the run for years. We don't know.
He might be. We're talking about Yeffy.
We
The
got to get
fugitive.
Justin with the with the bench. We need the whole 9 yards here. Seriously,
so.
who would? And no, it wasn't a targeted attack. Woody's clearly trying to egg you on.
No.
Egg you on?
Ah!
Get it?
I didn't mean it. I didn't.
I
mean
absolutely
it, but my
believe
God.
that. I believe that it was deliberate.
So you want him to start keeping the guns close
Oh,
enough
shit.
to start shooting at the road. Good job, Woody.
No,
I did bring a firearm out, and then I was like, why did I just bring a firearm out for an
eggs.
egging? I'm not going to... I don't want to shoot a kid. Or do I?
Well, you
Maybe
do.
I do if you're
You
a
probably
listener.
shouldn't.
Wow. So I was looking into that 3D printing guns, and
Yeah,
it's mostly like I mean obviously it's just like the plastic part of the like the handle and that but it seems like the tolerances aren't there on these kinds of printers. If you're gonna be doing something like that, because a lot of the guys that that I was watching that were doing it were getting a lot of jams where the slide wouldn't come back. It wouldn't.
Well, after you're done printing, I believe it's like a kit gun. Like when you buy like a Glock kit.
Yeah,
Even after
it's-
you're done, you're supposed to Dremel out the stuff to certain tolerances.
Correct.
I don't think it's ready to go off the printer.
It's not.
Okay. Well, even that I'm assuming that this guy knew that and did what he needed to do, And you could see it was like it didn't match up with the slide. Is that what that's?
And a lot of that is how
That's a
they
word, Woody.
finish them. That's a lot of that is how they finish them. Like DJ said, you have to match up the tolerances into spec, because what they do is they have 80% build kits
Yes.
where you'll get you'll get the frame, okay, and then you have to drill and Dremel certain pinhole
Boy,
and
don't-
stuff.
I called it a body. I meant a frame.
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
The guys
A
at
body,
your
a
work are
frame.
screaming right now.
Wouldn't you? Like, I would be worried. I mean, because that could blow up in your hand if you do something wrong. It couldn't it?
No,
I mean-
because all that stuff is up in the actual barrel and slide.
It's retained in the steel
Yeah,
part of the.
you're
of the
just
firearm.
making
Right.
the handle and the
But
frame.
what you have your hands on is the plastic part, and if I'm assuming if it's not done correctly, it could blow the metal part right off and
You
right
buy
into
the
your
metal
face.
parts.
I mean, technically,
Right, I'm not saying the metal part would fail. I'm saying the plastic where the metal part holds into the plastic would fail, and that
Oh.
could blow right up into your face.
Yeah, if you don't get it like the retaining pins and stuff in, if you don't do that correctly or you don't put them in at all, it could. But when you're shooting like 9mm
Yeah.
with a frame breaking or a receiver breaking and stuff, it's not a high pressure round.
No,
it's
you're
not
not
like it's
coming
gonna
up to take
blow
your
your
head
hand off.
Yeah, it might pop off or something off the top.
Yeah,
Might take your eye out or something, but I mean, it's a cool story.
yeah, it may shoot your penis clean off. But that's why you don't fire guns with your penis.
Yeah. That's
Rule
why
number one.
You always wear tiny hand protection.
I love those things.
God, I love these. I wish we were on YouTube this week. Where's Geoff?
He's
Sulking.
hiding from George.
Yeah, a little egger. Just trying to egg me on. That's
So,
second.
George, when you were out there trying to think about chasing down the little hooligans, did you take Just take your machete, my friend.
You know what? It would have been more effective than me taking my 9 out, because I could have actually chopped their hands off, because I could have been like, see you throw an egg now, you little fuckers.
Yeah.
And cut their hands off.
Eye for an eye.
What do you got? A 3D print a machete?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
You could, but
why not?
Wouldn't be very strong.
Could you do? Could you 3D print a small blade for us to carry through TSA?
Ooh.
Yeah, I could.
There we go.
Yeah,
take that, Delta.
They've got carbon fiber for printing.
Do they?
I bet you could put a decent edge on that. I mean, it wouldn't stay good, but I think it would.
Good enough
give you a good,
for what you need to do.
Yeah, for a good stabbing.
Yeah. Slitting.
Good pig sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, they're only made. It's really just for the one guy. You take out one guy in front of everybody.
And then they all pretty much.
They're yours.
They bend down. Yeah. They bow down. I mean, not bend.
Hey, it depends on what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Would you? Yeah, we could do that. We should try that sometime. We'll go on like Sprint Airlines or something.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Spirit.
It was your idea.
Spirit
Woody.
Airlines.
It wasn't my idea. So I believe you're the one that asked me if I could make a knife that we could.
I was talking to a
an
traveling, like a repairman, like a technician that came into my work who travels all the time. Like all he does is travel around and fix this equipment.
He carries a bone saw.
Well, we were talking about that because he has really odd
blade.
things like X-ray tubes and like weird tubes he's always traveling with for the equipment. And I was like, do you ever get stopped with TSA? He said all the time. He gets pulled aside. Police come in. Because some of the stuff measures with radiation detectors. And some of it comes back because there's nitrates in some of his stuff. Because he works in, like, chemistry labs. So.
Well, how scary would it be for the ones that don't pull him aside?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. And he said he starts. Most of the TSA agents are just normal people. They don't have, like, chemistry degrees. He said, I just tell them stuff about what it does, and they let me go. Because I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, so you could just make stuff up. And he's like, absolutely. He's like, I could just name, like, made-up things like they do in, like, Star Trek, you know? He's like, I could just name a bunch of, like, what do they call it? Technobabble.
Yeah.
And they would just be like, okay. He's like, it's terrifying.
Now, does he say it in a thick Middle Eastern accent? Or does he actually just do it in...
He does not.
Like, plain Jane English?
Yeah, he's just... I'm not going to say where he's from or anything so nobody can piece it together, but he's from...
I'm not going to say where he's from.
Not all the way. Not all the way on the West Coast, but between...
Persian country.
Between here and California. So he's got a little bit of a...
He's got some very nice rugs.
well, Woody, that could be Persian or Oriental, according to you.
That's right.
Oriental Persian. It's a very nice
Woody is so far behind the
combo.
times.
When the Orient and the Persian got together.
I don't know if we ever talked about this, but he asked me one time, like, what the right word was, like the politically correct word for Asian, and he thought it was Oriental.
Like, I didn't ask him what it was. I said something about it.
Oh, did you just say
the person being Oriental, and you're like, oh. You're like, you don't...
From Japan?
But like, how is that... You know,
I don't know how it's bad, but I know it's not the preferred term.
What, Oriental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I brought this up.
It's from the Orient.
Now it's going to have like
mysterious.
5 minutes.
Yep.
My fault.
They go by...
Jeff, timestamp. Watch for those spikes,
No, that's crazy, man.
1409.
You would think that Oriental is not, like, horrible.
Right. But it's just not the preferred term, so I guess...
So, Asian.
So
the continent, not the area. So we should be North Americans, not...
Gringos.
Honkies?
Well, we're... 1437.
Well, a lot of people call me a cracker-ass cracker.
14:45. This show's just gonna be like beep beep.
Do they really? Do they really, George?
No.
Okay, because I'd fight him for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm unable to now. Because technically, I'm like, just egg the house. It's fine. It's no big deal.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. I think it's because they know his hands are registered as lethal weapons, so he can't use them.
Yeah. That's true.
You know? It's like, I would fight you, but I would end up killing you, and then I'd go to jail. I can't do that, so...
I'd have to tie my hands behind my back and just kick them with my short little legs.
I'm picturing Cotton, King of the Hill.
Yeah, no shins.
So what are we looking at as far as topic today?
I don't know. I threw an idea out there, but I really don't know a whole lot on it. I was hoping you guys did.
What was the idea? I must not have seen that.
Suppressed technologies.
Technically, off the top of my head, I know a bunch about that. I don't even know what it means.
So it's like... remember, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the early 90s, there was this big thing about cars that could run on water.
Oh, yeah.
And how the government shut it all down.
Shut it down, man.
You know, there's...
shut it down.
There's more than that. There's things like I guess Henry Ford, right before the war, had made this car out of hemp oils, and it was like a plastic car.
Is this
it
real,
ran on
though?
Yeah,
there's just like urban legend.
No, there's videos.
It was a thing that Woody read in High Times.
There's
101 things you can do with hemp.
There's videos of him with an axe, hitting this windshield of this car, and it just not doing anything because it was all made out of a plastic.
Did you see these videos, or did they tell you about these?
No,
videos?
I saw a video of it.
All right.
Was it real fast? You know how they always speed up the old ass videos where they're like
no,
like a Benny Hill thing.
There was no music.
It was a lot of fun. They put yaki sax to it as he savagely beat the car to death.
So at any point in the documentary video thing that you watched, did they take it down to fight? What's the big giant shark?
Megalodon.
Was it in the Megalodon documentary?
It was not in the Megalodon documentary. No, this is actually it was a thing. They're not sure if it was. All right, let me explain it to you. So it was supposed to run on biofuel. It was supposed to be made out of plastic. The frame was made out of metal, but the rest of the car, like a Saturn almost. Rest of the car was made out of plastic, and it weighed 25% less than the rest of the cars on the street. So then the war happened, and so they had to divert a lot of that, that technology into creating, that tanks and things like that. So, and they're saying that the formula for making that plastic out of the hemp oil was lost. The car, the actual prototype that he made was destroyed. And
by the axe that he
was
wielding.
So this is the soybean car, am I correct?
Hemp car.
I'm seeing
it soybean. Maybe it was soybean. I heard it as hemp.
I heard it was made of wood.
And the wolf blew it down. But what a lot of people were thinking was that it was almost like a publicity stunt kind of thing for him, where he never actually figured out the real formula, and he was actually making the plastic out of coal tar, which is horrible for the environment. But it was kind of a concept.
Due to the fact it's named coal tar.
Right. Isn't that what they put in? Richard Pryor put in Superman's. Which Superman am I talking about? Where he made tried to make the kryptonite.
Not 3. Was it 3? Where he put the nicotine in it.
No, it was tar. It was tar from he was looking at a pack of cigarettes, but it said tar or something.
Oh, I thought he put nicotine. Okay, so it was actual tar.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
The Henry Ford hemp car on YouTube. I'm gonna watch this video real quick.
Tell me if it's real fast.
It's gonna be. It is. Cannabis Club Australia. That's who's putting this out.
Well, there you go.
I know this is great for podcasts.
Yeah, probably.
But...
So, all right, tell me a little bit more about, did the car actually run, or was it just...
Yeah, they're saying
there was, right here.
They're saying as a prototype that he actually made a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
And had it running, had it working. But like I said, the conspiracy behind it is a lot of people think it was just a promotional kind of thing. He never actually got it figured out. But you'd think that would be back in the what the.
All right. So here's my take on the video.
20s.
Here's my take on this video.
When did we?
1930s. It says.
30s. Okay.
No, in 1941, he constructed the hemp-fueled and hemp-bodied prototype car. The plastic body panels were composed of 70% cellulose fibers, including industrial hemp, mixed with a resin binder and whatever. So, in the video, it is him driving up like a circle driveway, about the length of a football field, maybe a little less. And then he gets out, and then they cut a different scene, and he's hitting it with like a hammer or an axe, like he said, and it's bouncing off a window. That's the entire video. We don't have any context behind that, except for what this guy's claiming it's hemp. So, like, the video is not even claiming it. The video is just showing it. So, I don't know.
So,
I have a hemp hand.
But are you saying that the suppressed technology would be plastics and stuff that could have been formulated from
hemp.
Right. Yeah, like the metal producers of the country. I mean, you got to think that that's one of our big. Honestly, that's one of our biggest industries. Like we don't buy. I mean, I know we do buy some steel from like Japan and things like that, but we get a lot of.
China.
Is it China?
Yeah.
From the Orient.
From the Orient. The Oriental Trading Company. But we produce a lot of steel in this country.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct.
Especially in this area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, and I would say that the steel unions and stuff back in the day would have probably fought against, plastic vehicles and whatnot.
They were dirty as fuck back then, too, the unions.
Yeah.
I mean, they were...
Were there even unions back? I mean...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unions formed back in the 1900s and stuff. Because you had
that's what we're talking about, 1930s.
Irish and Italian, immigrants and stuff needed to have representation, once, because the working conditions were deplorable. So yeah, you have the formation of unions. Let me look up here when the first union.
That's what I was.
You gotta think of, like, Teamsters are. An actual Teamster is someone who ran a team of horses, stagecoach, hauling.
My bullshit alarm is just when Woody says stuff like this. I think he's just off the top of his head.
1794 was the first labor union.
Teamsters were what, Woody?
They hauled cargo and stuff with teams of horses, and that's why they were called Teamsters. They were the guys that were driving the
George,
carriages.
Does that sound right?
Look it up. Look up the word Teamster.
In 1810s was the first labor organization to bring together workers.
Okay.
That was the trade unions.
That's 40 years before. Yeah, so I can see it.
Okay.
In 1886, Samuel Gompers was the first
Sammy G.
AFL union. So yeah, so to answer your question, yes, the unions were around. So you'd have the steel union and the builders, the builders unions and all that stuff that would be going against any technology. I doubt there was a hemp union.
No, I don't think so.
No, but I'm sure it's about steel and
yeah.
that, and
yeah, the fact that the hemp didn't have a union and steel did is probably what crushed it.
Yeah.
But do you think it was the actual union, or do you think it was the manufacturer?
I think it was probably a culmination of both, because without the workers, you don't have the manufacturing plant. Now, without the manufacturing plant, you don't have workers, so they kind of team in conjunction with each other.
Yeah, but the union could branch out. Let's say the steel workers, and then all of a sudden, like, hemp becomes a thing, or any type of new plastic becomes a thing. They can absorb that and get those workers to join their union too.
Sure, and any, well, not any, workers can unionize at a lot of different levels and stuff, but you almost have to have the business almost agree to the to recognizing a union, because without that, then Woody, we were just talking, prior to this, and it got me thinking that if a business doesn't agree to a union, or the union employees who are forming the union, they kind of call each other's bluff, and they kind of have to work in conjunction with each other.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess the company does have to recognize the fact that the employees are creating a union, but I mean, and you got to think of back in that time. I mean, the unions were the unions were dirty, but they were dirty because the companies were just as dirty.
No, absolutely.
If we own, if we all worked for a company, and I was like, hey, I think we should start a union. Companies had people knocked off for that.
Yeah.
For inciting, gatherings.
Houses got egged. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right. Houses got egged.
Yeah. My God, it was probably the administration where
That's what I'm.
I think Geoff is trying to start a Shufflepod union.
My God.
I'd
be all for that. Woody's the only one afraid of that.
I'm terrified of that.
Well, of course he's terrified, because he can't grift his grifting.
Yeah, all the
right.
profits he's getting would have to be distributed a little better. Geoff, we're on your side.
Yeah, he egged the wrong house, Geoff.
Yeah, he cut his nose off to spite his face. Yeah. No, I think I can see where you're coming from with that aspect. There had to be other. It had to be cheaper in the long run to make cars out of steel than, because you'd have to reformat all your machinery, but like in times of war.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Oh, how long would we lasted in World War II with hemp tanks?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Every time one got blown up, all the soldiers would just kind of go around it and go. And we'd all be falling asleep.
Looks like somebody bought into reefer madness.
Well, they said that was another big part of it was the
negative connotation.
Right, the negative connotation of marijuana, and that so we weren't growing the hemp that we could have been to support that kind of an industry.
So, along these same lines, then, is this kind of like the same thing where like, what's a press technology? Is that what you're press
absolutely.
Technology? Are you kind of talking like there's like the conspiracy theories that a lot of our technology is reverse engineered from like the Roswell UFO, and they only like leak little things out every so often for our technological advancements? So,
I really
better stuff.
I really believe that. I do. I think that that the government has way more advanced stuff than we could ever even imagine. I was looking into that Nazi bell. Do you guys know about that? The Nazi bell? George, do you know about that?
No.
Okay, supposedly the Nazis were working on this weapon of some sort, okay? And it was supposed to have been like shaped like a bell, and it was in this underground bunker, and we just kind of supposedly blew up the bunker and destroyed whatever it was that was supposed to be in there. But like leaks over the years have come out where people were like, yeah, well, I was a guard there, or I worked on this and that, and it was all about that anti-gravity kind of stuff, or some people say anti-gravity, some people say time machine.
Yeah, I've heard time machine.
Some
people say it's what the that UFO in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people say that was
because they're saying that looked like an acorn, which would be that shape, Yeah. I think that it's one of those crafts that Bob Lazar. I think the Nazis found it and were studying it like they're studying the stuff that Bob Lazar was talking about.
So you think
I think we took it.
That's what I was saying. We didn't blow it up. We took it.
Yeah, I think we took it because there's reports that people saw. Like a train that was leaving that area with things covered over in that kind of general shape, but like covered in tarps and with heavy guards around it and that.
Well, you got to think if there was any type of weapon whatsoever, alien technology, futuristic technology, or just some really good technology, if we even blew it up in a bunker, we're taking the remnants, even if it's unusable.
Sure,
we're taking it to study it, no matter what.
Well, and I think reverse engineering and embracing other countries' technologies, either in a time of war or not a time of war, has been happening for years and years. Well, we could just say centuries. Okay, because you got to look at the Nazi Bell. When you started describing it, I was like, oh, yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah. And so the fact of the matter that we took and basically held captive Nazi scientists and stuff that went to work. Captive. Well, they weren't.
I bet you there were some.
100. Yeah, they weren't 100%. I'm not a Nazi sympathizer, my God, okay? But I'm saying they weren't here under their own accord. I mean, it was basically...
they were. They weren't allowed to go. It was either prison for crimes against humanity.
Correct.
Or you could come and work for us, and we'll just say,
exactly.
Oh, well, whatever.
That's my point.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so basically, if you're... And so they were like, okay, well, we'll take working for you over
prison.
But
yes,
that's the way our justice system works anyways.
It is, but what George is saying is it wasn't a totally free choice. One of the options wasn't stay home and live free.
No.
And so we used their knowledge and their technology
to get to the moon.
Go through this whole thing.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Not allegedly.
And absolutely we did embrace their technology and jet propulsion. And obviously that then correlates to going to the moon and everything else. I mean, they had a base on the backside of the moon.
Well, hell, it barely even, like you said, it correlates. I mean, it was the exact technology. I mean, the Saturn V was just a bigger version of the V2 from Werner von Braun.
Well, and you got to figure if we didn't take those properties, okay, whether they were person or plans, how far back would we have been in travel and everything else? We were using propellers, propeller propulsion, for our fighters.
Right. They were using jets.
Then they had rockets and jets, and we were lobbing, stuff out of a bomb bay door, and they were, in essence, using guided rockets and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think, I'm not saying the Nazis did a lot of good stuff. That's not what I
no, but
want people to take out of
German
this.
engineers were the best in the world by far. When you watch shows like remember we talked before about like Hunting Hitler, they find in is it Sweden? I believe it's up in Sweden or Norway, one of the two. They found in the side of a mountain an underground base that comes out to the water. This entire inside of the mountain is concrete reinforced, like 10-foot thick walls, these giant like cathedral like rooms built in the mountains. I mean, their engineers were second to none. I mean, they were the best in the world. at the time.
Sure.
So, okay, let's say that is what Bob Lazar was seeing out there. Do you put more credence behind the idea that it's alien technology or lost technology from our past?
Which would, in theory, both of them would be alien technology, because we're not 100% sure of what the remnant, what. God, now I'm flaking on.
Yeah, but
I
think he means like
a civilization that could have gotten past where we are now, and destroyed themselves or left
use
this
the
earth.
Geoff argument here. Jeff's argument is we would find tools, and my argument was always no, we wouldn't.
No,
the only things that survived were the big giant megaliths of stone.
If you're talking a million years ago, everything is gone. Even if they had plastics and glass and
even metal. Metal melts with high temperature. Rock does. Well, rock does to a certain point, but not if it's like a nuclear explosion or something like that. It'll leave. It will start to melt the rock, but it's not going to turn it to lava like magma. It's not.
Well, doesn't metal fuse to rock under high temperatures and stuff?
It can. I mean, you get some like.
But then why would this have lasted that long then? If everything else has been erased, why would these, say, 20 ships, if there is 20 ships, if there's 2, if there's 1,
well,
why would they
according to Bob Lazar, they were trapped in ice.
Is that what it is, ice?
Yeah, they were trapped and encapsulated in ice.
Yeah, I mean, they found Captain America.
True. Very true.
No, so you're thinking then, DJ, you're thinking that the alien technology that we're reverse engineering is actually our predecessors' technology.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that that's...
I think it could go either way, and it could be a combination of both, because maybe aliens have visited our past ancestors.
Well, you'd almost think that they did, because based on, all right, Ancient Aliens, the series is, and you have all these people drawing on cave walls or telling stories about giant lights and, these dog people and whatnot, that came and, there's just so much stuff like Stonehenge and moving these rocks that were, 2,000 miles away, and stuff. And it just doesn't make sense to think that as a society, our ancestors drug those rocks,
Now, when you're talking like ancient Egyptians drawing like dog people, like you said, I have nothing for that. Nothing.
No, I don't either.
As far as like, what's that thing called in the side of the building? The astronaut. I think it's in India. This thing that looks just like an astronaut carved into the building, right with the suit. That's kind of stuff. And the old airplanes and ships and things like that are carved into the walls. That could be like what Woody said. In a past episode, I brought it up. The North Sentinel Island. They're completely cut off from everything else in the world. There could be cave paintings and cave carvings in there, looking at ships going by the island. They see airplanes flying overhead. They could be drawing that stuff. So it could be those ancient cave paintings and cave carvings could be ancient humans just seeing what other ancient human civilizations are doing around them, but they're not talking to them. They don't know what it is.
What do you think is more realistic? Okay, because time travel or aliens?
Aliens
by far. I think there's almost no doubt anymore that they exist. Are they traveling around the world, visiting?
What if they are us? What if they are the ancient?
I like that.
They are the people that were here a million years ago, and they had to leave this planet for some reason or another, and it got a reset, and they're just coming back to kind of see, hey, if we study them, we'll learn more about how we started.
Well, and Earth is kind of like Woody, I think you brought this up. It's the perfect distance. It's the perfect amount of water opposed to land. It's the perfect temperature. It's the moon. Everything is just right that it sustains life and it'll rebirth life over and over again.
But it's just right for us. We evolved to the conditions of Earth. Like everyone always says, Earth is the exact right thing, but it's not for other entities. Like there could be some entities that breathe
methane.
I don't know, methane. There you go. And
cow farts.
Yes.
Cow farts, right.
And planets, moons, I should say, like Titan of Saturn, are mostly methane. They have pools of liquid methane. The atmosphere is filled with methane. There could be creatures there that evolved, and for them, that's perfect.
Yeah, and Earth would kill them.
Earth would kill them in our...
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so we always say, and you see these science channels, they call it the Goldilocks zone. It's the Goldilocks zone for us, for our biology. It's not necessarily the Goldilocks zone for something else.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Species 8472 from Star Trek. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
Nerd.
No, I'm kind of leaning towards the idea that it might be a past civilization from Earth, and that's why they're not interfering with us, because they want to learn. Like I know when that we go back and we look at civilizations like the one that you were talking about, that Falkland Islands, or not Falkland Islands. What's
North Sentinel?
North Sentinel Islands. We go into places like that and study those people to learn about how we started. So maybe that's why the aliens aren't coming out to us, because they're like, well, we're studying to find out more about how we started as a people.
The way I just interpreted that is, you think the ancient civilization are now off the Earth studying us?
Yeah.
See, I don't. I think they were
from the
out.
Earth. Oh, no. I think that they left the Earth on purpose and came back it had to leave the Earth for whatever reason. Either another planet was about to bash into it and create the moon. Because they think that that's what happened with the moon, was it was used to be part of the Earth.
That's the working theory,
right? Or something. What? Okay.
Wait, why do they think that?
Because
it's made out of the same material.
Right. The moon's made out of the same material as the Earth, so they think that the moon was
cheese?
part
cheese,
of the
yes, cheese.
That the moon was part of the Earth. So if they saw something like that happening, where they knew they had to leave the planet, and that it wouldn't be habitable or wouldn't create life again for we lost DJ.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Bro, no! It's fucking cheese,
That's
boys.
how Woody's industry was made. They're still mining that cheese.
That's right.
We think
Mother's
it's all made
milk.
by milk and stuff, but
no.
You go to Woody's work, it goes underground. Railroad
guys just squeezing cheese, squeezing the milk right out of cheese.
They got the pickaxes. They're just chiseling cheese right off the cave walls.
Yep.
So they're saying the moon is made from the material from Earth. I will ask this, and I'm going to ask it in a way that you guys are going to be like, oh my God,
good.
He is definitely touched. And by that I mean...
we know.
Okay.
1404. 4404.
Is, how did the moon create a circle if it's a rock from us?
You got it, Woody?
That's actually a good question.
It's not bad.
Naturally, in
it's not bad. He said worse.
In nature,
I didn't mean it like that.
In nature, things form spheres naturally. So, like if you were in outer space and you had a drop of water, it would naturally form a sphere, because that's just the shape that it would take. It would it's the least amount of surface area, and if it's holding it together, gravity's holding itself together, and so it just automatically goes into like a sphere. That's why drops of water are rounded.
I think it's the
How
most
come
surface
meteors
area.
aren't round then?
No, but they were at one point. They broke off of things.
Right. That's why everything is that's why that's why the Earth's not flat, because it doesn't form
that's
that
a bad
shape.
example, Woody, because the jury's still out.
But like the sun, I mean, all the heavenly bodies. I mean,
they're round. We
right.
can't see that they're a sphere.
Well,
I mean, they could be flat discs floating around like frisbees.
And
right.
everything facing exactly the right way.
The gravity always pulls it into a way. Over enough time with no interaction, everything would be perfect spheres. Everything.
Yeah.
The only reason the Earth isn't a perfect sphere is because we have mountain ranges and valleys, is because of geology, And if all geology stopped and there was no outside influences of asteroids hitting or anything, it would, in a million years from now, be another perfect sphere.
Well, I think you could possibly bring it all back to the Henry Ford and his hemp mining is why the Earth isn't completely round.
What is that?
I blew your fucking mind.
No, you're right. You're right. We do think you're touched.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, he didn't finish his thought.
He got us there.
Yeah, he had to walk around the block a little bit, but he got there.
It's all hemp mining, boys. No, I definitely think. Well, I just had a brain fart.
That's okay. Can't imagine.
I don't know. I really like that idea. I like that concept of they're just studying us, and that's why they're not stopping in and saying hello, because they're like, hey, we're learning about how our civilization started billions of years ago.
I like that, but I never thought of it. Never thought of it that way.
What part, percentage-wise, do you think the Tic Tac UFOs are more drone from another country, or do you think it's a USO?
I believe it.
An alien USO.
I believe, when, like Woody said in a previous episode, when we're talking about UFOs and USOs, we mean aliens. We're not using the technical term of unidentified flying object. When we say it, we're meaning little green men.
Right.
So you think it is an alien?
I do. And I think we're on our way to complete full disclosure on this stuff. We're well on the way. I think these are the first steps.
Here's the thing: is like I don't think they know. Like I think they know. I think they know that it's not theirs.
I think we have such good intelligence from China, Russia, and really it stops there. If it's not us, China, or Russia, I guess Europe to a point, but really it's just us three.
Sure.
And as long as we know it's not one of us, it's not like it's freaking Tanzania here. I mean, like, come on. It's one of the superpowers if it's anybody. And we've got spies. We've got things in place to know. We're monitoring it with radar. These things aren't taking off and landing in China. So.
Right.
So do you think that is it realistic that there's underwater bases, because it's still parts of the ocean have not even been.
Oh, when you say parts, it's like 90%.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to hide somewhere on the Earth,
that's the best.
Yeah, I mean,
you can disguise something even with like sonar. You can disguise the contours of like buildings underwater or caves or whatever to naturally mimic an ocean floor with a sonar, and you'd never be found. Right,
and the whales aren't talking.
No, God no.
Or are they? I've seen Star Trek 4.
Woody.
That's what they're saying. They're saying Woody. Woody.
Come follow us to the treasure, Woody.
The rest of our show is just going to be us going.
It's gonna be 20 minutes of us making whale noises, like we're a Pink Floyd album.
Art.
So, okay. So is there more of a probability of aliens coming from space or aliens coming from down in the ocean, where that's their civilization?
We're kind of watching space around us so heavily that if I know what you're saying, DJ, but within our solar system, no, you don't think
No.
we've got eyes everywhere in our
I'm
solar
shaking
system?
my head. No, we don't. We absolutely don't. It's all amateur astronomers finding everything.
Right.
We're looking at like a pin dot in the sky.
So which one do you think it is? You think it's more?
I think it's aliens, like aliens, but I think like they could be hiding in the oceans because their ships can go through space, so they can obviously go in water too. So I think to stay hidden,
or could they? Because there's not a ton of pressure in space, right?
No, there's not. But if you can withstand, if you're displacing gravity in order to fly, then you can. Their ships aren't getting wet, is what I'm trying to say. They're creating like a bubble around the ship to stop the pressure, to stop the.
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, it doesn't. I'm just talking.
It does to me. Just don't ask me to explain it.
But I mean, that's my thought of it. I think they hide around the moon. They hide around close bodies just off of our radar, and underwater. Underwater is the fastest to get where they need to go because that's here.
Sure. Well, and I think going back to some of the suppressed technology, I remember going through the Wright-Patterson Air Force Museum, and there was the SR-71 Blackbird that was there.
I've never been there.
So cool.
My dad's friend, who was in Vietnam, said the SR-71 Blackbird, when it initially came to fruition and they were flying it, could read the cigarette pack, the Surgeon General's warning on a cigarette pack at 30,000 feet. Okay? If in the 1960s you had that type of technology that was available to the military, then yes, I think a ton of stuff are suppressed.
You know what's crazy about those, though? Like the SR-71. Yesterday we went to Maps. You guys ever go out there?
Yeah.
No, I've never been there.
Yeah, we took the baby out there, and I guess he's not a baby anymore. But anyway, we took him out there, and it's amazing to me. You see these old airplanes.
No, he's got a job now, doesn't he?
Yes, he's a cheese miner.
That's right.
You see these old airplanes, like he got to sit in some helicopters and go up into some airplanes, and the technology, like from the outside, it looks just sleek, perfect. You go inside, these things are run on it's like looking at steampunk.
Okay,
I mean, it's practically steam engines in these.
No, I absolutely
levers and gears and switches.
Okay, but here's the thing with that is you're talking about this is military equipment. Okay, now granted, part of it they've removed the real high tech stuff from because we're not allowed to see that shit, and another part of it is they're not making this user friendly. They're not making it look nice and cool looking and stuff because they're not trying to sell it. They have people that know how to work that equipment, and it doesn't have to look pretty.
That's true.
You know, they're making it for as cheap as they can, and but working.
Okay, so you're saying that with some design and
right,
some
if
engineering,
if they were selling it to us,
boom, you get iPads.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going back to the SR-71, with cameras like that in the 1960s, it just goes on to saying that absolutely there's suppressed or repressed technology. I remember my dad when he bought his first GPS.
Yeah.
For
those old style.
It was like a Magellan or something like that. he said, George, the thing that you don't understand is this place, this can take us within 10 feet of a pinpoint, of anywhere, that we mark. And I was like, oh, wow, the 10 feet. And he said, where the military can put it through a skylight on a building,
Yeah.
And he said, that's the difference. They don't make it as accurate because people would then be using it for nefarious reasons.
Look what we can do now.
Exactly.
I was just watching this morning. Have you guys ever seen the drone shows that they do in place of like laser shows and fireworks now?
Yeah, they're amazing. Amazing.
When the Olympics were in Beijing, the opening ceremonies, they used them.
Okay.
I saw it on TikTok. It might not have been yesterday, but I saw it yesterday. Somebody proposed to their girlfriend using those drones, and it, like a Skywriter airplane kind of thing is what it mimicked. It said, whatever, will you marry me and make me the happiest man in the world? And it just kept it was like scrolling through the letters because the drones are so accurate. They can go within like a millimeter or something of where they need to be. And then afterwards It said, and by the way, Joe Rogan is 5'3". That's what they spelled in the sky after their wedding proposal. I don't know why. And I don't think he is 5'3" either. I think they're just messing with him. But anyway, that's what it said. But then I clicked on their page and started watching some of this stuff. They're making like tunnels of light in the sky that are rotating and pulsating. It just looks it looks so futuristic and cool. So I'm saying like that's GPS now. Those are all using GPS. They're taking it in to the exact spot. Like when we were talking about future technology before, I believe it was Geoff said, GPS now is 2D. And he's envisioning a thing that would be 3D. That could take you, altitude too. And Woody argued that we have that now, and all GPS is 3-dimensional. It triangulates your position. All GPS does. It always has. But now they're they're using the elevation in a practical way too, not just you're up a hill or down a hill. They're taking it in the sky for these drone shows, and military has been using this for 20 years or more. So, like you said, they can put bombs through skylights, I mean, it's absolutely amazing what they can do.
I mean, I remember looking back at the first Gulf War, when they showed on CNN, before it turned into the Clinton News Network.
Oh my God!
But
he was doing good.
They showed our guided bombs, our missiles.
Oh yeah, going windows,
right through windows,
smart
and stuff.
Bombs. Yeah.
Yeah, right down chimneys and
like Santa Claus.
That's right.
And it was.
That's another thing that was suppressed was a lot of those videos. Like at the beginning of that war, I mean, you could go turn on CNN at any time and watch bombings and watch everything that was going on, and they thought that we were getting too aggressive about it and too worked up over it. Yeah, desensitized towards it. And
it didn't look real. It didn't look real because it was a grainy
video games is what it looked like.
Yes, and that's what it looked like. And so basically, you found yourself, masturbating to these images.
I was just going to say the same thing. I really was. I was going to say the same thing, and then you beat me to it.
You find
jerking
yourself
off to these grainy images.
Not correlating that's
people
human
are dying,
life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And it's kind of weird, thinking of it that way. But when you have like this, maybe almost like a regressed backwards technology that people are now just becoming accustomed to, where military always leads the way of any technology, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
they're going to have the best.
We didn't go into space just to walk on the moon. We went there to place satellites, and the satellites were to do reconnaissance, and fact-finding stuff. And it just, I don't know, I think every big technological breakthrough that we've basically encompassed in civilian life starts off as a military.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it does, yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that. They said, like, everybody wants to privatize everything. And the biggest argument against it from people like Neil deGrasse Tyson is that private companies won't spend the research money. They'll once the research in the technology and the method is there, they'll spend money to improve it, whatever. But he gives space as an example. Yes, we have SpaceX and stuff now, but that's all going off government technology. At the core, you would not have SpaceX if there was never a NASA, ever. You just wouldn't have it. Nobody is going to spend $100 billion on just pure research for something. Because you might not make it back. You might not not make it back to Earth. I mean, you might not make your money back. And with humans, that's all that matters. It's all about investments and return. So, you're not going to have Elon Musk taking those giant steps without the Apollo program ever existing. It's just everything big. The military will fund it. Or the government.
The government funds it.
It's not, both really, because NASA was heavily backed by the military back then. It was missiles.
So how much of the suppressed technology do you think it was like maybe it's a college kid coming up with an idea and getting a government grant for it, and then the military just stepping in and saying
that probably happens a lot.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you're always going to have your greatest minds studying how to take human life at the most efficient level possible. I think you're always going to have that.
I wouldn't say the greatest minds. I would say, the greatest minds are coming up with ideas, and then other people,
evil minds.
Then other people are figuring out how to make that technology take lives.
Well, let me ask you this: a lot of technology and stuff comes from the minds of creators of sci-fi, TV, and stuff like this. They always say, well, not they always say, but I've heard from frog people that if they're showing you something on TV or they're showing you something in a movie,
conditioning.
Yes, it's going to happen down the road.
That was really big when E.T. came out. E.T. and Mac and Me and those movies like that where it was all the friendly aliens.
Let's say Mac and Me and E.T.
Okay, Mac and Me.
Mac and Me is a better film. Just throwing that out there.
I'll agree with that.
Opinion.
I'll agree with that. But anyways, that was a huge kind of conspiracy theory when all that was going on, was that Hollywood's getting us ready for aliens to come and for condition us to think of aliens as the good guys, and as opposed to V. Do you guys remember V? It was
yes.
Yeah, it was a miniseries back in the day, and
they were lizard people.
Yeah, they were lizard people, and they came to Earth to eat people.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It was actually a really good, terrifying TV show.
Right, they played it every year, right after they played Roots. They'd play V. It was Roots miniseries, and then 3 months later they'd do V.
Do you think that's the TV networks being super racist and trying to condition people to be afraid of black people?
Are you saying that you think that African Americans are lizard people, Woody?
No.
No, but I'm saying, do you think deep down the networks were doing that? They could have. They were playing Roots, and then that. Basically, they get their freedom, and now they're going to come kill you. Is that what the networks were saying by doing that every year back to back? I really think that. I think they were trying to get people scared.
We just cracked the nut of the peacock.
Son of a bitch. I do. Because why would you play that right after? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
God damn it.
Yep, those were
those
were the two big miniseries they played every year. Was Roots and V. That's how I remember it growing up, at least.
That's how your dad would play them to you.
That could be. It could be.
Your dad recorded them on VHS. And every year,
sit down and watch the real.
Made you watch.
Sit down and watch this real history. These are lizard people.
Speaking of Roots, LeVar Burton's guest host appearance on Jeopardy is going to be coming up soon. And there's a big push for him to be the permanent host.
I like it. I like it. Reading Rainbow. I love it.
Yeah. Full circle, man.
Jordy.
Full circle. I'm a big fan of that. I signed the petition.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
He's a great dude. I signed the petition online. There was like a couple 100,000 people.
Oh, really?
Oh, did you really?
Hell yeah, I did. Because they weren't giving him a chance to guest host. It was just for a chance.
Oh, I thought he was always the.
No, he's one of the latest one. The one of the last ones that'll do it. He's going to be in August.
It's because he's a lizard person?
Probably. No, he was in Roots, so that's why I...
He was also in V.
And
he
Star
might
Trek.
have been, I don't know.
No, I don't know
he was in Star Trek, but...
Very interesting.
Well, I think that's about it for today, boys. We are...
Well, that was an abrupt cut.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Well, we're at time. We're at time.
We're not looking at a...
you
got your vote.
Business to deal with.
Got to go egg some houses.
So
that's it.
What time is the vote today?
1 o'clock.
1.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to be present.
They're gonna go over the contract and explain what the company's offering. The whole thing.
That's good. And the union at my work literally says, "Here's a copy of it. The vote is like Wednesday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m." They don't explain shit. Like,
no, they. We're all meeting at the American Legion, and they're gonna go over the whole thing. And
here's this is how deeply rooted unions are in my family. My great-grandfather on my dad's side shot his best friend over. His best friend was going to cross the line.
Let's say ex-best friend.
Well, no, they were best friends.
Even after
he shot him in the leg, just so he couldn't work. Shot him in the leg, but they were best friends after that as well.
Jesus.
Yep.
I tell you what, I had a rough week at work. I tried to quit. They wouldn't let me. They gave me an Egg McMuffin, and it kind of bought my working. But
they gave you an Egg McMuffin.
It doesn't matter. Anyways.
What? No, it does matter, though. Finish your story. We're coming back to that.
Yeah, we're not abruptly quitting on that, no. You crazy bastard.
No, I tried to. I was a really bad week. Everything went horribly wrong, and I tried to quit. But at some point, I would have paid somebody to break my leg so I could go home. Like I could understand.
Happened?
It was everything was falling apart. I was covering this guy who gets the ingredients ready for the ice cream, and he had messed the warehouse up so bad that they were asking for ingredient that we just didn't have, and the inventory said we had it, and so they're like, "Well, you're in charge of this. Why don't we have this?" And I'm like, "I'm covering someone's vacation, for crying out loud, you know." But yeah, it was all week long, just 14, 16-hour days every day.
Were they asking for the Soylent Green?
Yeah. It's people.
So my prediction today is this: like, he's gonna go to the meeting at 1 o'clock. They're gonna talk for 30, 40 minutes. Open it up to questions. You're gonna see a hand raise, and it's Woody. Yeah, I did notice. There is no mention of Egg McMuffins anywhere in here.
That's right.
I can be bought.
I can be bought with an Egg McMuffin, that's for sure.
That is a typo. We are offering 1 Egg McMuffin a month. And that's enough. That's enough for you.
That's all it takes. I would do it. That's all it takes.
You know, greatest food from McDonald's, and we'll leave on this after this debate, but I get 2 sausage McMuffins and 2 hash browns.
I have to recuse myself.
Oh no, you can talk about this because you probably do Egg McMuffin minus the.
You don't even do a hash brown?
2 sausage McMuffins, 2 hash browns, and you put the hash brown on the sausage McMuffin. It's like a married
sausage McMuffin
delicious.
with egg or without egg?
No, without.
Right, that's the best way.
Sausage
McMuffin with no egg, but cheese, fantastic, super good.
Yeah, you got to put the hash brown in between the buns.
Here's a little secret McDonald's breakfast menu thing for you. Not all of them will do this, but some of them have chicken McGriddles, where it's a small piece of chicken,
George
like fried chicken, with on a McGriddle, and then you have them put cheese on that. Phenomenal.
No, a little note to my fellow vegetarians. I know there are none of you listening. McDonald's, their fries and hash browns are both made with like a beef fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't eat their hash browns or fries.
Thanks, Sam Elliott. That's what's for dinner.
Actually, I don't.
It's that guy.
I don't think they do that. I don't think they do that.
Yeah,
no, they say it's 100% vegetable.
No,
yeah.
It's not. It says right on the thing.
They add like a some kind of artificial flavoring, like beef flavoring, but it's not.
It's beef. It says it's not vegetarian friendly. It says on the things. They've opened up and honest about it, and it says it right on the thing.
Huh.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing there that my daughter can eat.
I do once in a blue moon. I'll grab just biscuits with cheese on them. Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
George is just shaking his head in disappointment.
What are you, like British?
There's nothing wrong with
boiled. I like boiled biscuits and cheese.
Boiled biscuits.
Yeah, I'm gonna order that next time. I'll have some boiled
with
biscuits
clam
and cheese.
sauce. Be like, oh. All right. Yeah. So I guess we're done. I was having fun.
I was too.
Bouncing around topic to topic.
Hey, you guys can
but
keep
the union destroyed this show.
Way to go, Woody.
Yep.
All right.
No, I
guess I'll do my outro.
This is my fucking show. You don't forget it.
Good luck today, Woody.
Yeah, good luck. I hope.
Text the group and let us know how it went.
It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail, and I hope. Well,
I don't know. There's a lot of stupid people that you're always supposed to vote down the first one. Always.
Yeah.
Because it's never their final best offer. You're always supposed to vote down the first, even if it's good. You're still supposed to vote it down. And then the second one, okay, then you start actually weighing your options and seeing. But there's so many idiots out there. They're just going to go, oh, well, this is the best they can do. They said this is the best they can do, and I need a job. And they'll just vote yes.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I hope not.
Mindless drones.
I think people that think that way aren't going to show up for it.
Yeah, but they'll vote. They'll vote for the actual vote. They might not show up for that part, but they'll vote.
No, the vote is today. You have to be there to vote.
Yeah, but do you have to listen? Do you have to show up early and listen to the entire meeting?
No, but they didn't tell us when the vote was. They just told us everybody had to be there by 1.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Oh, so the vote,
That'll
you can
help
basically hold people in a room, and if they leave, you savagely beat them and tell them that's a no vote.
It's
right,
secret, right?
Yeah.
I've
never been through a vote with this company, but
a show of hands could get real violent.
Yeah, I was told that it was confidential.
Okay.
Like you don't
write it down and then they read it out loud.
Right.
Woody votes.
Woody says yes.
Son of a bitch. We start throwing eggs at you. Because that's
he's
the union's
getting paid in
move,
McMuffins.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Yeah. With the egg
Until
McMuffin clause, Woody says yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm willing to throw away a third of my salary. All right. Boys, this was fun. Geoff, good job today. And we'll talk at you guys later.
All right. See ya.
Later.
Peace.